The Fine Bros tried to trademark the word react to establish market dominance for that kind of video, and the internet hated them for it. Tens of thousands unsubscribed overnight. Keemstar was called out by iDubbbz TV for being a generally horrible content creator. The internet hated him for that, and tens of thousands unsubscribed. Both of these channels faced worldwide hate for a number of weeks. At the time, you'd probably have expected it to be the end for them. And yet, both of these channels are now doing better than ever before. What they did was to ignore the flack and to carry on as though nothing had happened. The internet lost interest in the hate wagon and went back to watching their content, because they enjoy watching their content. Tmartn made probably millions of pounds from promoting a gambling site that he secretly owned. Recently, he's been let off. Unlike the other examples I just mentioned, his viewing figures and sub counts have plummeted, but he gets to keep the millions of pounds that he's made, which I guess is a small consolation for him. I'm not here to attack these individuals, but simply to point out that they've come off okay from these things. Things that I would have considered career-ending. You may hope that it comes back to bite them later on, and it might, but it looks like that happening is no more likely than it is to anybody else. Chances are, if they could do those terrible things again for personal gain, then they would without hesitation. YouTube's audience punishes bad behaviour far less than I think it should. The internet is quick to turn on people, but if you ignore it, then it will tire of attacking you and will go find somebody else to pick on instead. Indeed, if I were to start doing gambling videos tomorrow, I suspect a lot of you guys would hate me, especially since I've spoken out so much against it. You'd probably be very vocal in your hate for me, even though really it would just be me lowering myself down to the same level of all those other YouTubers that you follow. You might even stop watching me for a while to prove a point, but you'll be back, because most of you never watched me for my moral or ethical standpoints. You watch me because you enjoy my videos. Don't even get me started on supporters of those bad, naughty channels. And when I say naughty channels, I mean the sort of channels I mentioned at the beginning of this video that seem to exist purely for their own personal benefit. Community be damned. Their fans must know, deep down, that they're supporting somebody who doesn't deserve defense at all and who doesn't give a damn about their followers in the slightest. But because their fans like their content, they want to blindly defend them against anything they're accused of. It's a real us versus them attitude, where sides are chosen based on no more than whose channel they prefer the content of. Everybody loves being part of drama, especially if they think they're on the winning side. I experienced this with Frankie. He cheated in CSGO and said that he wasn't. I analysed it and said, quite fairly, that his explanations for how he managed it were false. I didn't even say he was cheating. In fact, I encouraged people to replicate his methods without cheats to prove his innocence. Sadly, nobody managed it. He changed his tune and explanations for how he did it, then whinged about how the CSGO community hated him. Suddenly, my channel was flooded with hate from people who had never seen my content before. Blind fanboys, incapable of logic or reason. For them, it was as simple as, you said something bad about Frankie, you deserve to be attacked. Even if what I said about Frankie was perfectly reasonable and true. No amount of logic or reason would convince them otherwise. Indeed, the very act of apologising seemed to confirm that I had been in the wrong, whereas Frankie's denial of any wrongdoing acted as proof to his fans that he was innocent. The internet severely punishes honest or mature behaviour, it seems, almost treating it as an admission of wrongdoing. I hope that one day things will be different, but right now, being an infallible, insufferable dick online is very much like playing life on easy mode. If you hope to be a YouTuber, you should be making note of this. Don't be afraid of doing bad things if you think it benefits you, and don't expect good behaviour to be rewarded by any more than a handful of followers. That's not to say that everybody who does bad things are bad people. It's easy when you're an observer to judge these people, but try to imagine that you're a large YouTuber who's being offered a lot of money to put a quick little gambling ad on your videos. It's incredibly easy to justify behaviour that benefits you. With gambling adverts, I could easily say that everybody's gambling already. What difference will my videos make to it? My YouTube channel has to survive. Gambling videos are a small price to pay for my continued existence. Almost any sport that people enjoy has a gambling side to it that they're quick to advertise. And so what if I make my followers lose money because they're feeling lucky or greedy? They should see it as a life lesson. Besides, those who follow me will continue to follow me, and those who hate me already hate me. No harm done. And people are already as critical to me as they are of others, comparing the advertising deals that I've done already to gambling. If they already see me as a bad guy, then I might as well benefit from it by actually being one. That's something I feel quite regularly, actually. For the record, I'm not going to start doing gambling videos. I'm going to stick to my moral principles because I don't think I could live with myself if I didn't. I don't like the sound of my voice promoting something that I disagree with. That's a really big deal to me, and something that friends and family struggle to understand from their perspectives. Bless them, they want me to succeed, but I guess they see my channels as something corporate, whilst I see them as extensions of myself. My attitude towards these things certainly doesn't benefit me in this competitive and very unfair world. In fact, I'd argue that it's rather self-destructive. But I do find reward in succeeding despite of these ethical limitations that I restrain myself with. It's not like I'm even doing anything particularly worthy of praise, I'm just avoiding the things worthy of criticism. Indeed, part of what helps me to get out of bed every day is the idea that I am in some way making the world a better place for other people as well, even if it's just by giving them an entertaining 5-minute video to watch once in a while. These things have been on my mind for a while. Just wanted to show some examples of how YouTube is a surprisingly forgiving platform provided you make content that people enjoy watching. Don't admit to your mistakes, carry on making content, and your fans will easily justify their continued support for your channel. This extends far beyond YouTube. I'm looking forward to seeing how Shadow of War becomes one of this year's greatest successes, despite doing its best to make people hate it with its microtransactions and DLC. I'm in an awkward situation here. It was the one sequel this year that I was looking forward to, and now I'm wondering if I can even justify getting the bare bones game or if that would be supporting something that I can't justify supporting. Sorry if this video all sounds negative, I just see it as the way that things are. And regardless of where you stand on these issues, it's a very important thing to be aware of.